is probably an awful idea, but yeah, I messed up my sleep schedule. I went to sleep. I was thinking like, I'm gonna go to sleep early and sleep all night, and I know that I can't do that. People ask me, why did you sleep more? I'm like, because I can't. So this is what happens. I'm gonna just stream for maybe like an hour or something like that, maybe an hour and a half. I don't know. Maybe if I can sleep by 2, I'll be good. If I can get back to sleep by 4, no, it'll be 2. I need to be up at like 5 something. So anyway, let's do a thing. Let's go to the Nintendo. Still think this box looks good. I think this game, not so much. Box looks good though. What the hell is this? What is this? Is this a real game? What is this? It's got a Nintendo seal. I don't feel like I've ever seen this game before. I don't know, whatever. It's this game looks so cool to me. It's not that the game does, it's that the box looks so fun. I don't know what it is about the box that looks fun. It actually looks like that movie. What's it called? Like, I guess there's Sausage Party, but I thought there was another one, like some Food Fight. I think it was Food Fight. Power Blade. Let's go to low G, man. The low gravity, man. It's one of those games I remember renting. I remember renting when I was like, I found out, my parents let me take whatever game I rented to the that daycare I had mentioned. This is one of them, for sure. Hang on, I'm gonna boost my volume. Filters, gain. I don't know if this is any better. It's louder, but it's not quite there. Okay. Sure, this might be alright, actually. Let's go even more. Okay, I don't want to get any louder than this. Alright, we're good. It makes you wonder. Do they call him Luigi Man because he jumps really high, or is the gravity affecting him? That's a bad way to kill niggas. Street Fighter or something. I know I rented this, but I don't remember any of this. And what's weird too is like being a kid. Okay, so here's a phenomenon that can't happen anymore. When you're a kid and you're renting games in the video store and you can't read, and you get a game and you bring it home and you start playing it, and you're like, wow, this game is weird. There's a possibility they put the wrong game in the box. Another thing that happened was I remember renting something from this side of town, but it was something on N64, and I got home, and apparently this is a fairly common thing back then. I didn't know because I couldn't get a job, you know, I was like young, but people would rent games and then they would take the label off of the game that they have at home that they don't want and replace it with the game that they rented. So when they turn the game back in, and the people try to check and make sure, like, oh, is this the game that's in the box? They'll open it up and see, like, oh, hey, yeah, they brought back I don't know, Conquer, whatever. Conquer's bad for it. They rented this game and they bought it back. We're clean. But if you rent Conquer and then you take the label off of Conquer and switch your copy of Superman 64 and turn that back in, you have no way of knowing. I figured that was going to happen there. I remember seeing the box, but I feel like what I got, maybe I was thinking I was gonna rip this, but I feel like what I would have got is what is that game? The game with the Shatterhand. It's like the guy with the weird fist man, because his name is Shatterhand. It's a fair name, Fist Boy. Oh, you can't? Okay, you can just go in here to switch weapons. How do I go back to my gun? Are the pixels shaking? Oh. Oh man, this is a weird game. I don't know, it's one of those games that feels like they wanted it to be something. You know, back in the olden times. A great example is how there's all these platformer games, like mascot platformers, with mascots that are nothing. It's like, who wants to play as Novelin Man, or whatever that guy's name was from there's a game about, like, is it Captain Novelin on the Super Nintendo? I think it's a game about, like, blood pressure or something. Like, who wants that? But it seems like some company out there was like, yeah, we're going to make this our mascot. Or you got Titus and the Fox. Like, that didn't end up being anything. And what's weird is I think there's like an actual straight up Amiga platformer that is nothing but that game. What is this? What is happening here? How was that? What was that? Oh, the fact that you can't duck and shoot. Even. If you press down and shoot, you do the whole, like, stab. Up and shoot. I've got other weapons, but I'm not using it because I don't know. Let's try this out and see what this does. I could have used that vehicle. How come that only took one hit? Ugh. I can take care of this. I can do this, right? It's not gonna be good. Oh, almost missed that. It's the problem of being low G, man. What a bad idea. What a bad idea. Super Avion. Oh no. Oh man. If only I had fast G. If I had high G, 5G or something like that, you know? The boost up his health. Like, I don't understand why his weapon freezes enemies in place. That's such a strange default weapon. Not that it's a problem, it's just weird. Feels like they should call it like his time gun. Ooh, no good. You do get a lot of life. And honestly, the other is I was letting die. He despawned himself. Very, very concerned about him these days. The idea of, you start a new job, you get safety warnings, but the idea that in video game, you don't jump, fall off and disappear, you're never gonna. If I double tap forward or backwards, it makes you run. Good to know. Take this, keep this, F the police. Oh, they heard me. Cops, they're coming along. Yes! Oh, that's so cool. I realize how that's not a retro shit. So, in order to use the jet, you have to tap the jump button. Do we have a curvy one here? No. The weapons. Vehicles all expire, I guess. Okay, so we'll switch to... I wonder if I still have the super thing. off lumpy. I was really into science, but I don't feel like I didn't understand what gravity was or anything. It's just the concept of a low G, man. I wonder if I thought that was something else. This might unintentionally be one of the most difficult fights I've done in the game because you have no control. Weird. GG. Gotta keep moving. Always gotta keep moving. I don't know why, like what I would have seen on this box. Probably the fact that it's a bright yellow box with a big red G on the cover. Like, why would I have rented this? You know what? You know what? The other thing that was really popular when I was a kid was those moon shoes. I don't know how those things worked. It was like shoes that were supposed to help you. Like they might have had springs or something on them so you could jump high. It's one of those things that people had as a kid, and I imagine any parent that bought it for their child was probably terrified the entire time. Let's say that. I want to play Mega Man 4, but I don't. So I should just be playing stuff I can pick up and play for a bit and then move on. Pass. What is that one game? Maybe I should play this. Let's play this. Oops. I wasn't a Mickey Mouse fan when I was a kid. Like Disney stuff, I was into Disney, but it was never like some kids, you put anything Disney in front of them or anything with Mickey Mouse and they're captivated instantly. For me, it was just like, I knew who Mickey Mouse was. I think my parents, no, specifically my dad, thought I was a Mickey Mouse fan because he thought all kids like Mickey. But I would much rather, you know, look at the X-Men or something. Any sort of superhero. I didn't, at the time I wasn't reading comics. I only read comics for a very short period of time. Yeah, I don't know anything about those. I'm pretty sure I can imagine them being cool if I could ever find them. I mean, all the comics, the only comics I ever bought would only be from the grocery store. Back then, the idea of a comic store, I think the only reason I knew comic stores existed at all is because of, there's that episode of The Simpsons. I mean, there's plenty of episodes, but like there's the one where they get like the first edition of, or first issue of Radioactive Man. And they go to the comic store and, you know, I love The Simpsons. I was a kid in the 90s, I had to. It was like a legal requirement, I think. I've heard some people complain about this game because, stuff like this. You're playing, but you're also controlling both players. Goosebumps, yeah, that's another thing I was all over as a kid. It's funny, okay, so I think my fascination with Goosebumps, like a lot of kids back then, I feel like it is probably still the same now. Kids want to read stuff that's gonna scare them, but they don't necessarily want to be like super scared. But it's the kind of thing where like you might read a book or something like that and maybe you can't sleep that night. I remember reading Goosebumps all the time and, you know, being into horror. But the moment that like there was a time, I want to say my brother, he one of his friends came over. It was like maybe around Halloween or something like that, and they had a mask, and it was like a weird, creepy looking mask. And I want to say they like knocked my window. It was like Friday night or something like that. They knocked on my window like, shoot, midnight, 11 o'clock or something like that. I think I was playing a game, and I looked outside and I saw this thing, and I couldn't sleep for days. But I liked horror. I like the idea. I like kid-friendly horror. Yeah, the only comics that we had that would be like that would be like trade paperbacks, which, I mean, back then I wouldn't know anything about. There's that finish the sentence or finish the thought. But there's that Goosebumps game that came out. I think I might have bought it on GOG. Finally, I saw the movie. I know some people hate the movie. I think the people that hate that Goosebumps movie are hoping for it to be. I don't know if you saw Fear Street. Fear Street, on Netflix. Like super messed up show to me. Like there's a lot of like things you don't think are gonna happen. To me, Fear Street when I was a kid was like, it was like the teen version of Goosebumps. Like it's a little bit more adult, but it was never like too bad. But man, that Netflix series, the number of characters that just straight up die when you're like, oh, this is clearly gonna work out, and other stuff like that, wild. But yeah, Goosebumps, the movie with it had Jack Black playing like R.L. Stine, basically. And it was the idea like, oh, he wrote these things and like all the stuff that he wrote came to life. Fairly common trope, I think. But I think people were expecting that to be like more horror. And it's exactly what I wanted. I miss that show Are You Afraid of the Dark? I used to love that show. I actually had a bunch of episodes on my computer at one point. Yeah. Sorry, I'm like focused on not dying here. But yeah, man. Are You Afraid of the Dark? Like horror where like the kids are in danger, but doesn't matter. At the end of the day, somehow the kids are always prevail. They have nothing to really worry about. That was me. So my parents wouldn't let me watch rated R movies. I mean, my parents, my dad passed in October. Mom's still here, but like, neither one of them was ever into horror. My dad probably would have tolerated it more than my mom would, but my mom, like, if I put on a horror movie now, she would leave the room instantly. My dad would just be like, "What is this? This doesn't look like an action movie. Who watches anything besides action movies?" See, for me, like, I've heard people say that they didn't like this game. I don't know, I never really thought much of it. I think, you know what the problem is it's when people set these super high standards for themselves with stuff that they make. So, considering, I don't know if this is a Capcom game, it might be, but considering you got DuckTales and then you've also got Chip 'n Dale, like, going back to this is okay. Any other company, this would be totally fine, but because, you know, people have this high expectation for Disney stuff, like, makes it tougher. Yeah, he was here, we were doing hospice care here, and I had to take time off from work to, you know, take care of him until he passed, and, all he wanted to watch, he wanted me to, like, set the TV up in there, because he couldn't go to his room, he couldn't get out of bed. He couldn't get out of bed for probably the last like 6 months of his life. So set a TV up in the room like below me, and just watch action movies. Anytime he was awake, nothing but action movies. But the thing is, when he would fall asleep, because I have time, but I don't really have a lot of time to just watch movies. So he would fall asleep, and that would give me a chance to be like, all right, I'm gonna watch, I don't know, I saw like Interstellar, finally. I watched Prey, some other stuff. But, you know, with him, I was, he likes action movies, but it was certain ones that he was really into. I feel like I need to open that stupid window, but I don't know how to. So I remember one of the movies, somebody had told me, like, oh, you guys should watch this, was, Cobra, with Sylvester Stallone, which has the line, you're the disease, the cure. Guy makes all these demands, it's like, I need a camera crew in here. Can't help you. What do you mean? Don't work with psychos. Man, that movie is gold. I wish I saw that movie when I was younger. I think there is a Cobra game, but I don't think it's a console game. I think it's like a micro PC thing. Maybe there's like a Spectrum Cobra game. It wouldn't surprise me if it was like a skinned version of another game. It was like, oh, we had, I don't know, like some world tour, world soccer game, and I don't know, we needed a game based on this movie. Yeah, this seems okay. I remember being put off by the 2-character thing, because it's a lot. Like, you can't transition between screens if you don't have both characters with you, so you have to, like, wait for Minnie to catch up. Or, yeah, it's Minnie, because you're pretty much controlling Mickey. You're controlling Mickey, but Minnie's following you. But you need both of them to make any progress. But it's not like she can't die by herself. The ocean. This level's fine. The waves do way too much damage. I'm using the turtle button here for this. I don't know, I've never found, like, when you play a game like this, and the challenge is how fast can you shoot, it never feels right to me. This feels sort of like the actual time, which is, you know, for some games it's part of the challenge. Like, maybe some sort of a shmup, but the problem with some shmups is, like, some games don't feel like they're actually designed for that. It's just an unfortunate side effect. Knew it. Kill waves? Yo, you can straight up kill waves. Does like nature documentaries now. They should cover the water. It's an idea, man. The water will fuck me up. You know, maybe that doesn't count. It doesn't count as water. I think you do get damage from the water. Yeah, that right there is one of the things I am always fascinated by is when you go back and you play an old game, and some games are balanced for proper movement and dodging and stuff like that, but then you have other games, especially with like ports, where you're like, man, this is not good. Speaking of not good, this color palette here, kind of hurting my eyes with the bright pink trees and the solid base in the tree. Whatever. The thing right there behind me is like, it's not even centered. Because I guess fair, they're probably trying to make it look like a forest, but like, you got 3 trees in your forest, my boy. You got some problems. Talking about global warming. And Low G Man will be able to fix this entire situation here. He wouldn't be having these problems. Low G Man. Oh shoot. Killing a toad. I can't go in there. Oh no. Is this a puzzle? Oh no. That's gotta be it, right? Oh look, the season's changing. What are those? Okay, so that must have been spring before, now I'm in fall? Maybe? Is that how forest works? Like they just transition between seasons constantly? I'm not a forestologist, so I don't know. Why did I die? I still had life left. Alright, I'm actually going to back out of this only because I've got like an hour. Seems alright. Seems okay. So what I was thinking of when I was loading this is it under D? Disney's DuckTales. Classic. Let's go to A. This game. The other game that is a Disney game. I mean, there's plenty of other Disney games, but like, man, the idea of theming an entire game around your theme park, because this is the first time I can think of it happening, but they definitely, like when the GameCube comes out, I know my cousin had the Universal Studios game, which I didn't really play much. There's also that Kinect game. Was that? I think that's Universal Studios also. I think this is just a bunch of different mini games themed around the rides. That's not. Yeah, like theme parks. Man, I've got a friend who is a huge Disney fan. I don't know if she's a fan of like the movies necessarily, but she likes Disney World and Disneyland. I know there's that. I don't know if it's already done. I know they're doing that Super Nintendo theme park like in the U.S. also. I think the one in Japan's already done. But there's videos on YouTube, which I think these are actually interesting. It's like videos of people just walking through the parks. Sometimes you'll see them like standing in lines and like doing like first-person videos of like them on the different rides. Now, I need to look and see if there are any VR videos that are like that, because that would actually be kind of neat. But the problem with the VR videos is they move, which is obvious, but when you're looking at something and then somebody else's head moves in another direction, it's very disorienting. You have to be ready for it. I think I'm finally used to it now, but I know it took me maybe a year. I started using VR back in like 2017, I think. What was the name of the girls' ranch in the Spin and Marty serial on Mickey Mouse Club? I don't know Disney trivia. Mickey's friend. I was very confused. Like, why is this guy laughing at me? Oh man, I'm an idiot. I guess this is why you don't name your character. You might name him Dick or Butt or something like that, but you don't name him LMAO. Okay. Dude looks so buff. This looks like an RPG. It's really funny. I'm sorry, I think it's hilarious. Why? How obnoxious. The fact that I don't have a proper weapon, but they do. I think this is what Johnny Depp ended up starring in. At some point, someone was like, "Hey, you remember that Adventures of Maggie game from Nintendo? What if you were in a movie based on that?" Okay. This is the Haunted Mansion. Just a second. so I should have. Oh, I need more stars. Okay, so now I have 3 stars. When I get 6, I can do the life thing. I'm so startled. Oh jeez. Oh jeez. Okay. This is okay. This is terrible. Okay. I'm pretty sure that's just like a minecart thing. I actually think that one. I think it's harder than minecart sleeve is. Oh well. Oh well. I don't know. The game, it doesn't seem as good as the other one to me. This is also Capcom. I mean, it's got that bright red Capcom logo right there. What throws me off with racing games back then is, like, if you notice the car just, like, moved, it just slid left to right. But there's, like, a momentum to it. So it seems like it'll be okay, but I want to see the car turn a little bit. Like, I want to see it, like, tilt in. It's a really minor detail, but I want to see it, like, tilt in towards whatever corner you're making. What is this? Oh, this is the game with this guy. I don't remember the game, but I remember in my head somehow I thought this dude's name was Duke Nukem. I don't know why. I think my friend had Duke Nukem 3D. I don't know how this would have happened because this is 1989. I'm pretty sure the video store near me would have got rid of like Nintendo games by maybe like 95, 96. But something about that dude looked like Duke Nukem. And when you can't read this, why is there a straight up gorilla on the cover right there? I feel like you're in trouble if like this dude is the guy that has to save you. He looks just like Duke Nukem. Weird. Anyway, the game is garbage. Don't want to play it. Battle of Olympus is one of those games I think people are discovering now. And be like, oh hey, this is actually pretty cool. These got re-released last year. I think you can buy this game on Switch, it's the most random thing. I think there's that third Bill and Ted movie, but I feel like the game's getting re-released has nothing to do with that. I think it was just like, hey, we're gonna put these back out because we can. Let's go ahead, let's load this up. So I never really played this. He has his own little spot too, where he literally like jumps in the bed and like lays his head on the pillow. It's so weird. Greetings, my excellent friend. Your time traveling skills are needed once again. Time-space rebels have relocated important historical personalities into incorrect time periods. If history is not corrected, wild stallions will miss the concert that will launch your careers. First, check the historical telephone directory to see whose phone number has been changed and traveled to their world. No problemo, mighty Rufus student. Unfortunately, I can only leave you a payphone. What? That is most upsetting, Rufus. You see, I am currently without any change with which to make a call. It's like it seems like it's like a sequel. The excellent thing. The first time they let me put up a quote, not a quote, just like if you want to say anything. So I think I wrote down like the excellent to each other. Are we doing this? It's better that you work separately in order to restore order to. Sure, dude, whatever you say. Any advice before I go? I'm most excellent compatriot. Holy smokes, that's a lot more story. Elvis is one of your historical figures? Marilyn Monroe? Excuse me? Not the person that I expected to see in this. What is that? 555-6842. Oh no, I remember this. This is how dialing worked back in the 90s, apparently. Oh, shoot. Okay, whatever. Oh, shoot, I know what's going on. Wow. Lord. Oh no. Damn, I should have gone with the other. Ugh. I don't know how I loaded this twice. Nice. Just trying to get this one down here. That might actually be good. Did that work? I think that worked. I don't understand why they felt compelled to re-release this game. Your friend Bill asked me to give you one of these shiny coins. Incredible. I mean, I guess this is better than Back to the Future, but doesn't seem great. Dangerous textbooks. Am I going north now? What are we doing? Oh, scary. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about this. And the weird thing is that you can also buy this game on Switch, and I think it's like $20. Because I think it's one of those things where they did like a port or whatever. They did a re-release, and like they have like the definitive versions of all of these games. Nice. Oh my god. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm good. Doesn't seem all that good. Oh boy. Like, I guess it's cool if they made a game, but I don't know who that's for. I don't know what kid out there was like, I need to play more Bill and Ted. There might have been an animated series based on that. Wayne's World was the other one that was like really big back then. I used to get those two mixed up in my head all the time. I remember owning this game. I know I bought it from the video store. I think it was because I was just looking for Nintendo games, and like there were some that I picked out because, you know, I was like, oh man, I remember this game, or I've heard of this game. But like this would have been one where I was like, well, this is just here, and I don't know, I could either rent a game for like $5, or I could buy a game and own it forever for like $3. So I would just randomly buy games. I sure do wish I had this game still. When I would have played this, I was when I got my computer, I got into flight sims. Like, I had heard of flight sims before, and the idea of them just sounded really cool. Especially when you see it like in movies. Who knows? I'm sure it's a common trope. But the thing, there's some nerd and it's like, oh man, plane's out of commission. We need somebody that can fly this plane. You got a nerd. It's like, I can be done in like simulations. And they get up there and, you know, it's a whole super stressful situation. Whatever. But I was convinced, oh, that happens to me one day. So I just got into flight sims, and my friends were like, how do you shoot? And I was like, no. No, you're taking the passengers from one airport to another one. They're like, how do you shoot? Can you flip upside down? I was like, no, that's not what you do. It's a flight simulator. They thought it was a combat flight sim, which, you know, once I got one of those, I think the first one I had of those was IL-2 Sturmovik, which is because I was into history. I mean, I still am. World War II flight sim. It's actually, if I could have got the space and time, I probably would have played, I got a VR flight sim, sort of. It's, there's a game that came out on Switch. I think it's just called, like, World War II Dogfight. There's 2 of them. I didn't realize it. I bought it because it was super cheap on, the Oculus. Not, like, $5 or anything like that. Relatively cheap for VR games. And it was a standalone flight sim. Like, you get to use, like, an imaginary yoke and everything. So, anyway, I got that game. And I was messing around with it and saw it was also on Switch. I was like, huh. So I bought that, but I barely touched it. Barely touched either version. But again, that's mostly because, like, I've been waiting for the puppy to kind of chill a bit. He gets very... He'll be fine, and there's some days when he's just, like, all over me, which is, you know, it's okay. A little puppy. But, like, if I put the headset on, he sees me with it on. He's like, what is that? Take that off of your face. You're going to die. Mark Zuckerberg is watching you right now. He's trying to give me a heads up. So I just haven't really used VR much. It's hard for me to close the door and not have him freak out. Nice. That Mark Zuckerberg seems like such a nice man. That's bad. favorite, I guess you could call him an epic businessman, because like him insisting everybody's going to want to be on the metaverse, and then everybody being like, hey man, Facebook man says everybody wants to be on the metaverse, and they mentioned every single year posting a loss for that thing. I love VR, man. I don't love the idea of a metaverse. What that is, what the metaverse is, to make a comparison, the metaverse is like when games come out and they're like, we're making our game for esports. Our game is going to be an esport, and then like the game comes out and nobody cares. It's the same thing. It's the exact same thing. It's like when you try to force the thing and nobody wants the thing. People want more esports. They would love to have a thing that's like the metaverse, but you can't force people to like do that. It never works. And what's weird is I feel like some of these companies that do things like that are somehow still chasing back in the day when people were convinced that Second Life was the biggest thing. Like, everybody's on Second Life. There are people on there. It's not everyone. Because a better version of the metaverse would be VR chat, I'd imagine. Like, VR chat does fine, but it's just because people, you know, it's there and people go there to hang out. They were just like, hey, use this as a VR chat room. You can make your little avatar. You can make Ugandan Knuckles. And that was it. That's all you needed. If they could have found a way to like integrate with that instead of being like, no, we're gonna change our product name. It's no longer the Oculus. It's now the Meta. Yo, the first time I turned on my Oculus Quest 2 and it had an update and it changed the logo, I was like, I don't like this. I still hate seeing that logo. Oh, prepare to dock. I don't think that's how it's supposed to work. I did it. I went in the hole. I love when games do this. When they're like, hey, what do you want? And I'm like, I don't know. I haven't been in the mission yet. What the hell do I know? Do I need bombs? I guess it's showing me my loadout right now. You can tell this is a desert because it hurts my damn eyes. Oh lord. You can also tell this is a desert because there's clearly volcanoes in the desert. Everybody knows that. People talk about like Egypt. Of course it is. I'll give them that. If any company can do what they're thinking of, like, so I've never, ever, ever done one of those virtual concerts. However, what's that dude's name? The Kid Laroi or whatever? He's got that song called, I think, Stay. I watched his concert video. His VR, or not VR, Fortnite concert. I was like, yo, this is actually interesting. It's a really clever idea. They also have, I feel like the fan base, but I don't think it's gonna work anymore. I think like Fortnite it's a little bit too long in the tooth. You know what they should do? They should bring back Unreal. Bring back Unreal and somehow convince people to play arena shooters. Like, yo, this is the new metaverse. absolutely using that term wrong. This is obnoxious. All the companies that went hard in on the metaverse, I can understand, I guess, getting wrapped up in that stuff when COVID hit and people were stuck at home. But like, once that went away, if these companies so I work for Macy's. All I do is I work at a warehouse and distribution center, so like I put things in boxes, unload trailers or whatever. But these companies have this idea about like, hey, what if instead of being in the place, what if we had you in like a little room and then you had like a headset on and then everybody else also had a headset on? I was like, it doesn't make sense. If I'm here with the people, why do I want to go into a virtual meeting? AR in that situation, I think is perfect. If you were like, say, designing a building and everybody has on just regular glasses, like the same like safety goggles people wear anyway, and you can see like, oh, here's like a 3D model of this building instead of having to construct a 3D model, I think that's potentially useful. But the idea of people having to put on headsets and like use hand tracking and being in the perfect lighting to have business meetings, it sounds so dumb. But then again, I mean, whatever. The first time I saw Deadpool, the guy that sent me my original Oculus Rift, we watched it together. And I remember like sitting there and be like, oh, this dude's like on the couch beside me. This is pretty cool. But there was never a point when I wanted to use it for anything beyond just hanging out, And these companies want businesses to like completely base their business around that, which is crazy talk. Cliffhanger on the Nintendo. From Sony ImageSoft. This is one of like the most just defensive looking title screens. This kind of hurts my eyes. Cliffhanger is a cool movie. I don't think I actually saw Cliffhanger fully until maybe 2018. I watched it on, I believe, Crackle. That's a really cool movie. I think they used the quote "stick around." I believe they also use that in what's it called, Predator or Commando. Travers, a renegade treasury agent. Cliffhanger is a really cool movie if you haven't seen Cliffhanger, because the opening happens and then the movie is okay. The movie part itself is okay, but like the opening is like, I did not expect this. Oh man, it's not up there. People ask me like, oh, what are some of your favorite movies? What movies do you watch often? I was like, the thing is like, I would much rather, in a lot of situations, watch bad movies or fun action movies or something than watch like really good movies, because really good movies make me feel like I need to sit down and think and appreciate them in a certain way. If I watch a bad movie, it's just whatever. Doesn't matter. Cliffhanger is like a fun movie. Better than you'd expect it to be. But anyway, yeah, that opening is so good. I don't see how this works out well for me. You have to keep in mind, this green man, this is Sylvester Stallone. Okay, I'm going to point out something about his animation. So he's walking. He turns around when he walks. He turns either facing the screen or away from the screen. When he jumps, he jumps. His kick is weird. I'm going to tap the button, and there's like a delay with
him punching. It's because the animation is there. This is actually a problem to do with Sony and Ubisoft games. A lot of times they try to make their games look cool. They try to give you really fluid animation, but it's at the expense of the gameplay. But his jump, he jumps, he bends, whatever, he crouches, he gets on his knees like an actual normal human. But when he jumps forward, he runs a split second before he makes the jump. So if I'm here, you see how he like walks off the edge? That's a strange choice. Over him just like regularly jumping. Okay. I am the cliffhanger man. Why can't I hang from the cliff? How do I do it? He doesn't have a run either. He just has that little startup on his jump. That's so weird. See, I didn't notice until I made these jumps here and was like, oh, that's an odd choice. Why is it not dying? When I read about the way that they do like fighting game animation specifically, as a fighting game player, enjoyer, and the way that they kind of like hold certain frames for a little bit longer and why they do, it's like, oh, that makes perfect sense. I'm gonna have to look up how to play Cliffhanger for the Nintendo because I have no clue what to do right here besides die. Cliffhanger NES controls. Oh yes, somebody has uploaded the manual. Did they upload a fake manual? I mean, of course there's the manual out there. I might actually have it. Oh, this game just got fired. I had a friend who made a game. It was super early back when Steam Greenlight existed, and I can't remember what the name of the game was, but the only problem was instead of like using stuff as like a reference, like he straight up 100% copied frames of animation from like SNK titles, and his game was he let me try it out ahead of time, and he's like, "Hey, what do you think about this?" Like, I think it's too hard, and I'm sure you know. One of the problems with testing your own game is press diagonally up and left or up and right to run. Ew. Anyway, you learn how your game works, so your perspective is messed up. You can make games ridiculously difficult for yourself. And he did that. He pressed A while standing underneath the rope to jump up and grab it. How? He made the game like, it was the thing where I think he said like, oh, this little girl finished. I was like, yeah, but the problem is that the little girl is mashing buttons. Anybody that knows how to play a game is going to struggle with this game. And he put it out, and all the feedback was like, dude, your game is too hard, and you copied all of these animations. And what's messed up is like, I have another friend, a person I'm a lot closer to than this dude, who did some voice acting, which he wanted to be uncredited in the game. And she's like, I'm so happy I didn't put my name on that. It's like, man, that's rough. Interesting. Yeah, no, his game got released. I think it's still up on Steam. I want to say it's called Bonsai Pecan. He made it, like I said, it was back when Greenlight was like new, back when it was like it was a pure system, before they had adult games on Steam, which feels like a lifetime ago. You know, you'd have to go to the Greenlight process, you had to submit your game, and then it would have to get approved, and then you could upload it eventually. But yeah, it got released on Steam, and I think he also put it up on some other place, maybe like Indiegogo or something like that. I remember he had sent me a video of him doing an interview, because this is back when, like, it's not when indie games were new, but I feel like, you know, people were still becoming aware of stuff and giving different things a chance. But it was one of those interviews where the person was like just excited to interview him. It was like, oh man, I'm interviewing a game developer, and it's like, well, yes. But so I feel like they kind of like let him off easy with a lot of stuff. Like there were no real questions of any merit. There's no like, oh hey, what was your design process or whatever. It was just like, so what's it like making a game? Games are cool, huh? Beginner or advanced? Well, I'm a beginner. I don't know what's happening. This is the special edition. Oh man, I'm sorry, Die Hard. I don't know how I ended up with the Japanese ROM for Die Hard. This was I didn't play it. I didn't rent it back then. But I remember seeing the box for this and hearing, I think I heard my dad say the name Die Hard. And like, this was what Die Hard was. I didn't see Die Hard until after I graduated from high school, because times were different. I mean, I was pirating movies back then, back when I was in like, I'd say late middle school, starting high school. But yeah, it wasn't. There was no streaming services for movies or anything, so you know, whatever you saw is stuff that was available. And this just wasn't anything that I would see anywhere. Like, I wouldn't, you know, if you go to the video store, it's hit or miss if you're going to see an older movie like this. Everybody's so concerned about, oh, we got to get all the Matrix sequels, and oh shoot, have you heard of this Underworld thing? I remember first girl I dated. I remember being at her house. She's not the only person that had them. I was thinking about these the other day. She, I think she had, it was like a Metallica concert, like on DVD, that she would just occasionally put on, like while we were hanging out. I was always just like, man, to this day, I've never really watched one of those. I know Katy Perry's the last one I can think of that had one. Like, you know, you go to the movies and you rent this concert DVD and you can watch a concert at home whenever you want to. But that's never really appealed to me. I think my time is running out. Uh-oh. If you're wondering, that is not the auto fire. That's just him shooting whatever this gun is. It looks like a pistol. It must have been a machine gun. I think I'm losing cigarettes. Are those hostages or monkeys? Or are those statues? It's Alan Rickman. It's funny, I was like, is this Alan Rickman's first time in a game? But there's that Robin Hood game. That's beginner. Seems alright. This seems okay. If I could read it, I'd probably be more into it. What is that game? I think it's just called Robin Hood. Why not be on Nintendo? It is Prince of Thieves. based on the Kevin Costner movie. Telling you, man, I was talking to somebody about like no disrespect to the man, but anytime I saw Kevin Costner as like the leading man in a or movie, it's like it's a weird choice. I like him and stuff. It just and he's like almost there. He's but to me he's never been like super great. Like in Field of Dreams, I thought he was good there. He's a good fit for that. But putting him in an action movie like Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, I think it was him, and I think Morgan Freeman is also in the movie too. You also have, I believe, Alan Rickman as the sheriff of Nottingham or whatever. But I don't know. In 1991, I don't know who else you put in a movie like this. They took my eyes. Quiet Englishman, or your tune, twice as long. This guy is very bad at his job. Free last. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Didn't expect that. So now okay, I was gonna say, do I have to like pick up the key? I think that's Morgan Freeman's character. Why is this like this? This movie has that one awesome song. Everything I do it for you. I don't remember who it was. I think the song is, if you hear it now, you're like, song of the times, man. Kevin Costner is, speaking of him being a leading man in movies, he's in that movie The Bodyguard with Whitney Houston, and it's so weird. I had asked somebody else, because I know a lot of women love that movie, especially the ones that were, watching stuff back then. Because it's romantic, but like, man, the idea of Whitney Houston falling for Kevin Costner is like, I just can't buy it. There's so many people that get put in movies like that where I'm like, I don't buy you in this role. Let's search over here. I didn't realize that Robin had exploded when he died. Mostly from the director's cut. Anyway, that seems alright. 3.5. Oh boy. Well, I should try to get to sleep for a few more hours soonish. I guess that's it for now. So I hadn't really planned on doing. I wanted to do the stream earlier, but I had to take my nephew home. And it's like that took maybe like an hour and a half, literally right after getting out of work. So anyway, I will catch you later. Peace. Have a good night.